This carne guisada looks amazing here. Check this out. How hard is it to make carne guisada? Is it like an easy thing to do or what?
Let me show you how to do it.
We're gonna do this from scratch. So tell me what to look for in meat whenever you're cooking carne guisada.
What we personally like is we like the boneless chuck roast. All right, so next you're gonna need some bell peppers. So when we go to pick them, we'll pick a nice red, yellows. Yellows are my favorite. Let's throw a green in there as well, but as long as you have 3 nice sized bell peppers that don't have any blemishes, you're good to go. So about 5 of these really will do the trick for us. I really prefer yellow onions in this whole process. Yellow onions just give a nice bite to it, mellow out the dish. All right, so when picking a garlic bulb, a little yellow's not too bad, but a whole clove that doesn't have any missing pieces is what you're looking for. My favorite is pick some jalapenos that have a nice light, but also have a medium to dark green in there as well. That lets you know that they're not overly spicy, a little sweet, and are gonna be perfect for our dish. We're here in the flour aisle. All these different varieties. What you want to look for is just good old all-purpose flour. So everybody should have this at home, nothing special. Just your regular flour will do the trick for the tortillas. So when we're looking for spices, a couple of ones, chili powder, just gives it a little bit of heat. The ground comino, and then one of my favorite ingredients is Mexican oregano. So it's just like traditional Italian oregano with a little bit of Mexican hint into it. Really goes great on all these Tex-Mex dishes that we're going to be working today.
So right now what Leo's doing is he's going through his head and make sure we have everything we need, because nothing is worse than getting where you're going when you're cooking and having to come back. What do you think, man? We got it all?
We're good. Ready to roll?
All right, one trip, everybody. Let's do it. So we're back at the Culinary Institute. So Leo, tell me a little bit about this dish, man.
So it's a great one-pot dish. Really hearty stew. Carne guisada is really great. Takes about 4 hours to really get nice, tender. We're gonna introduce some cooking techniques to cut down that process hopefully by half.
Very cool.
All right, so first up what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our chuck that we bought at HEB. This nice fatty area, we wanna clean up some of it, not all of it. Right now, you know, everybody was always in the fat, gives you flavor, I agree. But too much fat doesn't break down and it just seals off top. Now on to here, we just want nice cubes. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Then we're gonna take these and put them in thirds pretty much. And these are the size pieces we're looking for. All right, so now all the hard work is done on the meat. We cut all that up. Simple, easy, beautiful. The next step, we have a salt pepper blend. Really nice salt and pepper 50-50 blend. All we're gonna do is we're gonna generously season it. I have here, I have a pan that's preheated. As you can see, flames going, a little bit of oil right at the bottom. So now that the pan is nice and hot, sizzling, you hear that beautiful noise, that's what we want. The last thing we want to do is overcrowd our pan. So if we need to work in batches, definitely work in batches. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to get a nice sear on the meat, give it a nice crust on the outside so we can lock in some of those flavors and just transfer it. So same pan, same pot. So second batch is working. As you can see, the pan at the bottom is a little dark, right? So everybody kind of fears that. Good old-fashioned white vinegar, apple cider vinegar, rice wine vinegar, any type of vinegar. We're gonna throw it on the bottom and let that work. That acid is gonna help clear the bottom of the pan, and it's gonna cook off all of that harsh vinegar. So as you see from here now, all of that is off. All of that deliciousness is gonna go right on top of our steak. And then now we're ready for the next steps. Just take regular veg oil, you can use veg or canola, throw a little bit and a touch of the same pot that we use to cook off the meat, right? And then it's just gonna go right in. Those onions, see how nice and dark they are now? We took them to the caramelization state. We take all those beautiful bell peppers that we chopped up. We'll give those a mix as well. We're gonna add our jalapenos. So we'll add these in stages just to make sure that it's not overly spicy. We'll let this cook down about 3 to 5 minutes. We have the onions cooking down. We added the garlic. We added all the peppers. Now we added the last little bit of jalapeno. One of the second to last steps we're gonna do is we're gonna throw in all of our meat that has already been seared off in chunks. If you have chicken stock, vegetable stock, any type of broth, I'd add that. We're gonna add just a quarter cup of water, just to give it a little bit of heat. On the comino, I'm only gonna do a teaspoon. The Mexican oregano, the Italian's cousin, we're gonna do 1.5 teaspoons of this guy. We're gonna add our paprika, give it a little bit of smokiness, a little bit of brightness to it as well, a little bite. Chili powder is gonna give us that nice slow burn added to the jalapeno. We'll probably just do a teaspoon of this guy as well. We're just layering on flavor upon flavor, layer upon layer. All right, so we've let this cook down just for a little bit. You see they're all getting to know each other. Now the last step is the tomatoes. From here, we're gonna go straight in. Straight in, let those break down. The acid from the tomatoes is gonna help break down the meat. It's gonna help bring this whole dish together. Have a nice bite. All good, we'll mix it up just right now and then we'll put the lid back on and we're ready to go.
So this next part is probably gonna be my favorite part because I've always wanted to know how to make tortillas. Tortilla.
All right, first step we're gonna do is we're gonna cut up our butter. So the really great thing about this is it has a tablespoon marker on it. So all I'm gonna do is find right in between 5, it's about 4.5. We'll take our flour. This is 4 cups of all-purpose flour that we picked up at the store. We're gonna throw it into a little bit of a bigger bowl. We're gonna take 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Then baking powder, not soda. Be very careful on that. Baking powder, 1.5 teaspoons as well. Dry ingredients are mixed and ready to go. Now the butter, if you've ever made biscuits, it's a similar process to this. We're gonna take the butter and we're gonna leave them in a little bit of cubes or chunks. Next step, we have the lukewarm water. So with the water, what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a little bit at a time. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna use our hands, get in there, don't be afraid, mix it in, squeeze the butter into these pockets. Yeah, so the heat from your hand actually softens the butter. So with mixing it in together, it's already breaking it down. So as you can see, this butter is already being broken down by my hand and by that warm water. So we always wanna go little bit by little bit to make sure that all of it comes together. It's not too wet, it's not too dry. All we're gonna do is we're gonna put it back in. We're gonna cover this guy with some plastic wrap. From there, we're gonna throw it in a warm spot, just set on the oven in the back spot. Let that rest for 1 hour, and we'll come back. We're gonna make some tortillas. So the dough's been resting. It's resting for an hour. So now you see it's all coming together, right? Nice, smooth. You don't want it pulling on your skin. It's really, really great. That extra flour, we're gonna take it, we're gonna lightly dust. We don't wanna over dust. So I like to pre-stretch it a little. We're gonna lightly flour both sides. So now it's pre-stretching around. We'll take our rolling pin and do the exact same thing. So we gonna get you in here trying?
Okay, so Leo called me out. He said, you're gonna make one? So I gotta make one. You guys are about to see the first attempt ever of me making a tortilla. Right here.
Perfect. A little bit of flour right on top. Make sure you don't forget to dust some flour on your workstation.
Let's see what happens here, guys.
I'll tell you what,
Already,
if this vlog thing doesn't work out, I got a job for you.
Man, I'll tell you what, you may see me at the taqueria, man, my first tortilla ever.
One of the best things, we should all have them in San Antonio, is a nice comal. This one right here is on a medium to high heat. If this starts to bubble and blister, that means you have some great dough that you've just worked.
Alright, amigos, so the torture is over. The food is done. It's time for us to actually eat.
Here it is.
Hunter's been there salivating the whole time.
Oh, good. I had to stay silent so I didn't swear.
Yeah.
If I'm being honest, man.
So obviously I go around and eat a lot of carne guisada, but these look fantastic, everybody. So here we go. Wow. It's all about the texture, and I'm gonna say, I think I'm enjoying, as much as I like that shredded one, the one's cooking longer, I think I'm digging the 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah, I agree.
Thanks to these two wonderful chefs right here, man. Guys, thanks for taking the time and showing us how to do this. It's much appreciated. The Red Restaurant is here at the Culinary Institute, and you guys are open on
Wednesdays and Thursdays from 11 to 1:30.
11 to 1:30. You got to come and try their food. You got to come and meet Chef Leo. You got to catch Chef Leo at his pop-ups for Catch the Wave. Follow him. Hunter is also his right-hand man. So if you see Leo, you'll see Hunter. Guys, thank you. These are fabulous. Eatmigos, it's time for us to throw down. As always, love, peace, and tacos, and we'll see you next time.